Namaste. We'll start seated in Sukhasana Pose. We'll be sitting on a couple of blankets so that the hips are in line with the knees, or the knees can be slightly lower than the hips, allowing there to be an opening across the inner groins. You'll sit seated directly on your sit bones. From there, draw the outer hips in and lift up through the sides of the chest. The center of the chest is lifted, the shoulders are back and away from the ears, the neck is long, the throat is soft, the eyes are soft, and you're centered and balanced in Sukhasana, easy pose. We'll stand up from here. So for this class, you'll need 1 to 2 blankets, 1 to 2 blocks, and a strap. If you only have 1 blanket or 1 block, that's okay. If you have 2, that's great. We'll place our blankets to the side, and we'll start in Tadasana. We'll start with the feet apart like we did last week. So remember that the feet are parallel and hip width. You're maintaining balance on the inner and outer edges of the feet and pressing down into those 4 corners of the feet, the inner big toe mound, the outer the outer little toe mound, the inner heel, and the outer heel. Press the feet evenly down. Lift up on your kneecaps, which is a lift of the quadriceps. Lift the abdomen. Lengthen the tops of the buttocks down towards the heels, lengthening the lower back. Lift the center of the chest and roll the shoulders back and away, stretching the fingertips, stretching the arms down by the sides of the waist. Again, the neck is long, the throat is soft, the eyes are soft. From here, we'll raise our arms into Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands pose. So maintaining the Tadasana, maintaining the balance in the feet, we'll stretch the arms forward, drawing the outer upper arms in towards the body, stretching through the fingertips, and inhale, take your arms overhead, reaching the arms by the ears, stretching the elbows, stretching the fingertips. And then inhale and exhale, lower the arms down back to Tadasana. You can have your feet hip width apart if you're pregnant, if you're menstruating, if you have any pain in the knees or lower back. Otherwise, we'll come into the classical Tadasana position, which is to take the feet together. So the big toes are touching and the heels can be slightly apart. And you'll notice that this changes your balance a little bit, having the feet narrower. But we still want to maintain the connection of the inner edge of the feet and the outer edge of the feet, evenly pressing down into the floor. You're going to press again into the big toe mound, the little toe mound, the inner heel, and the outer heel. So press firmly into the feet. From there, draw up on the kneecaps, draw up on the quadriceps, engaging the thighs. The tops of the thighs are going to move towards the backs of the thighs. Still lengthening the tops of the buttocks down towards the floor. Lift the abdomen up, lift the center of the chest, roll the shoulders back and away, and stretch down through the arms and fingertips. Maintain this, and we'll take the arms into Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands pose, upward arms pose. So we'll reach the arms forward, drawing the outer upper arms in, as you inhale and draw the arms overhead. Again, noticing how your weight might shift slightly on your feet. See if you can't maintain the balance in the center of the inner edges and the outer edges of the feet. Front to back, side to side. And take a deep inhale and exhale, lower the arms back down by the sides of the waist. So from here on out, again, unless you have some of those issues that I mentioned earlier, we'll take our feet together in Tadasana throughout the duration of the class. The first couple of poses will be a review from last week, where we'll emphasize a little bit more focusing on the feet and the knees in this pose, but they should be familiar to you. So have your 2 blocks behind you ready, and we'll start in Tadasana. Press the feet, lift the chest, reach the arms, and we'll move into Uttita Trikanasana, or extended triangle pose. We'll inhale the fingertips up, step or hop, arms and legs wide apart. Remember, we start with the outer edges of the feet parallel with the outer edges of the mat, and the feet are roughly as wide as the wrists. From here, we'll externally rotate the top of the right thigh, turning the right thigh and foot out. The knee tracks in line with the middle toe of the right foot. The back foot turns in slightly, and the heel of the front foot is in line with the arch of the back foot. We'll press the feet, lift the kneecaps, reach the arms, and inhale and exhale, reach out over the right leg, placing your hand down onto your block. And then again, reestablish the weight on the feet, the inner and outer edges of the feet. Draw up on the kneecaps, press the tops of the thighs back, lengthen from the navel to the sternum out through the crown of the head as you reach the arms from the shoulders. We'll press the feet and inhale, come back up, turning the feet parallel. Take a breath. And then turn the entire left leg and foot out from the top of the thigh so that the knee lines up with the middle toe. And then we'll turn the back foot in slightly, heel of the front foot in line with the arch of the back foot. Press the feet and lift the kneecaps and quadriceps up. Inhale and exhale, reach out over the left leg and place the hand down onto your block. See that the knee is tracked in line with the toes. Press the feet evenly, inner and outer edges of the feet, as you draw up on the kneecaps, draw up on the quadriceps. Lengthen from the pubic bone to the navel, and from the navel to the sternum, and out through the crown of the head, as you press the arms and reach the arms from the shoulders. And then press the feet, and inhale, come back up to center. Turn the feet back to parallel, and step or hop, arms and legs back to Tadasana. Take a breath here. Remember again, your big toes are touching. Your kneecaps lift, the abdomen lifts, the chest lifts, and the arms reach from the shoulders. We'll be sure to move the blocks out of the way for the next pose so we don't accidentally jump into them. And we'll practice another pose which should be familiar, Virabhadrasana 2, or Warrior 2 pose. So starting from Tadasana, inhale the fingertips up, step or hop, arms and legs wide apart. It's okay to check your feet to make sure that they're parallel with the outer edges of the mat. And then turn the right leg and foot out, again from the top of the thigh, so that the knee points towards the middle toe. The back foot turns in slightly. You're going to maintain the pressure on the inner and outer edges of the feet, but I want you to particularly concentrate on the outer edge of that back foot as you lift up on the kneecap and press the top of the thigh back. So maintain the outer edge of the back foot, and from there, we'll inhale, exhale, bend the knee. So keeping the contact with the outer edge of the foot on the floor, we'll bend the knee so that the knee comes in line with the middle toe and over the ankle. The torso and chest face forward towards the front of the room. The arms stretch from the shoulders and your gaze out over your right fingertips. The back leg stays steady and strong. The knee is stabilized over the ankle. And then press the feet, straighten the right leg, turn the feet back to parallel. Take a breath in between sides. And we'll turn the left leg and foot out from the top of the thigh so that the knee tracks towards the middle toe of the left foot. And again, we'll maintain the pressure in the inner and outer edges of the feet, particularly the outer edge of the back foot. Press the outer edge of the back foot, draw up on the kneecap, lift up on the thigh, and then from there, we'll inhale, exhale, and bend the left knee. So the knee comes over the ankle and in line with the middle toe. The torso and chest face forward. As you reach the arms from the shoulders and gaze out over the left fingertips. Warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. And then press the feet, straighten the left leg, turn the feet back to parallel, and step or hop, arms and legs back to Tadasana. Again, we'll take another breath in Tadasana, recovering from the strong standing pose. And we'll practice a pose that is new to you called Uttita Parsvottanasana. We'll do a preparatory variation of this pose today. Uttita is extended. Parsva means side. Kona is angle. So this is extended side angle pose. It's a combination of the last two poses you'll see. So we'll start from Tadasana. Press the feet, lift the kneecaps and thighs up. Inhale, we'll draw the fingertips up, and we'll exhale and jump the arms and legs wide apart. We'll turn the right leg and foot out, just like we did in the last couple of poses. The back foot turns in slightly, and the knee is going to maintain tracking towards the middle toe of the right foot. Inhale, exhale, keeping the outer edge of that back foot like we did in the last pose, firmly pressing into the floor. From there, bend the knee, just like in Virabhadrasana 2, so that the knee comes over the ankle. We'll take our left hand on our waist, and we'll reach the right arm out over the right leg, and we'll place it on the inside of the right foot. So here, you may need a block. You can use the block on its lower edge, its middle height, or on the highest height. If this is still too far of a reach for you, you can place your forearm on your right thigh. So I'll place it on the middle height today. And I'll place my hand down, remembering that the weight is not in the hand. The hand is there for balance. And the arm also acts as a brake in this pose. So the knee wants to come forward. This is a challenging standing pose. The knee wants to come forward. The arm presses against the knee to keep that knee tracking in line with the middle toe. And it also acts to help us rotate towards the front of the room. So we'll press the arm into the knee to help rotate the chest towards the front of the room, and then reach the left arm up from the shoulder. Take a breath. We'll place the block behind the foot again, and then inhale, straighten the right leg, coming back up, turning the feet towards parallel. And we'll pause here for a moment. Seeing that the feet are parallel, finding that the feet are balanced, inner and outer edges, kneecaps are lifted, chest is lifted, and we'll turn the left leg and foot out 90 degrees. Back foot turns in slightly. Inhale, maintaining the weight in the outer edge of the back foot. We'll bend the left knee so that it comes over the left ankle. Inhale, exhale, reach out over the left leg and place your hand inside the left foot. The right hand comes onto the waist. Place your block inside the foot and place your hand on the block, keeping the knee in line with the middle toe and using the arm as a brake to keep that knee from coming forward. Also using the arm to help rotate the chest towards the front of the room. And then reach the right arm up from the shoulder and rotate more the chest towards the front of the room. Maintaining extension in the back leg. And then move the block towards the back of the sticky mat. Press the feet. Inhale, come back up. And turn the feet parallel as you step or hop the arms and legs back to Tadasana. The next pose we'll practice is called Parsvottanasana. So we have a combination of a couple of words here. Parsva, which we learned in the last pose, is side, and Uttana is intense stretch. So this is an intense stretch to the side, or an intense stretch of the sides of the body pose. And in this pose, we'll change the rotation of our pelvis and legs. So we'll start the same way that we have started the other poses. We'll inhale the fingertips up from Tadasana and step or hop the arms and legs wide apart. Feet are parallel. Then we'll take our hands onto our waist and we'll turn the right leg and foot out 90 degrees. And then we'll turn the back foot in about 60 degrees. So big turn on the back foot. And you'll maintain the heel of the front foot in line with the arch of the back foot. And we'll maintain the hands on the waist to begin with. So this is a little bit of a balancing pose, but we'll keep the pressure on the inner and outer edges of our feet, balancing the weight on our feet, and draw the kneecaps up, as well as press the tops of the thighs back to create stability in the legs. There's a strong pressure in the outer edge of the left foot, which then helps to rotate the left hip more forward. We'll press firmly into the inner edge of the right foot, which will help to draw the right hip back. The hands are on the waist, the chest is lifted, the shoulders are back. We'll turn our feet back to parallel. And then we'll turn to the left. So the left leg and foot turns out. The back foot turns in about 60 degrees. And you might find that if your heel can't reach all the way down to the floor, that you might take a little bit of a narrower stance. So you'll notice that I step my foot in just slightly so that my outer edge of my back foot can press firmly into the floor. So we maintain the inner and outer edges of the feet. Lift up on the kneecaps, lift up on the quadriceps. And then we firmly press the outer edge of the back foot, which helps to rotate the right hip forward. And then we'll press again into the inner edge of the front foot, which helps to rotate the right hip back. So we're moving our hips towards parallel to the front of the room that we're facing. And we'll turn our feet back to parallel. Take a breath, and we'll practice the pose one more time. So we'll turn the right leg and foot out. The back foot turns in a big turn, about 60 degrees. The heel of the front foot bisects the arch of the back foot. The outer edge of the foot is down. And you can feel the extension from the outer edge of the back foot across the left knee and up the left thigh as you rotate the back hip, the left hip forward. And then we'll firmly press the inner edge of the right foot, draw up on the knee, draw up on the thigh, and take that right hip back, moving the hips towards parallel to the front of the room. And then we'll turn back to center. And one more time, turn the left leg and foot out, big turn on the back foot. Steady your base, pressing into the inner and outer edges of the feet. Press firmly into the outer edge of the back foot and draw that right hip forward. And press firmly into the inner edge of the left foot and draw that left hip back. The legs are stretched straight, chest is lifted, shoulders are back. And then we'll turn back to parallel and step the legs back to Tadasana. So the next pose we'll practice is called Vajrasana or Thunderbolt Pose, and it's a seated pose. So you'll need at least one blanket. We'll place a blanket down onto your sticky mat and have the other blanket nearby, just in case. And we'll kneel down in Vajrasana. So the knees are together, the toes are apart, and you're sitting in the saddle created on your feet. So I'll turn around and show you what the back looks like. So the knees are together, thighs are together, the toes are together, and the heels are separated. So you can sit in between the saddle created by your feet. There shouldn't be any pain in this pose. You can alleviate a little bit of pressure on the knees by coming up a little bit higher. You can sit on a little bit of support if it's uncomfortable. You can also place the blanket behind the knees to create a little bit of space behind the knees to lift some of the pressure on the knees. So I'll remove the blanket and turn around and show you again from the front. Knees together, thighs together, toes together, heels apart. The weight comes down towards the floor. The abdomen is lifted, the chest is lifted. Vajrasana or Thunderbolt Pose. To come out of this pose into the next pose, we'll take our hands forward. We'll cross our ankles behind us. If you have any blankets or extra support under your buttocks, you'll remove that. And then we'll take our hands back and come back over our crossed ankles and stretch our legs forward into Dandasana. I'll show you this pose from the side. We did this pose previously. You'll need a strap and possibly a blanket to sit on. So remember, if your knees are buckling or your lower back is rounding, your pelvis is tilting backwards, we want to use a little bit of support. So I'll take this support under my buttocks. Take our hands by the sides of the waist, press the hands down, and lift the chest. This is a great position for you to be able to see your feet and knees and the rotation of the thighs. So you can look down at your knees and see that the knees are pointing in the same direction as the toes. They're not turning out or turning in, but they're facing the ceiling and in line with the toes. The centers of the backs of the heels are on the floor and the toes reach towards the ceiling. Let's use a strap again around our feet just to wake our back body up. We'll place the strap around the balls of the feet so you can feel like you've got something to press the feet into, to give you a sense of where your feet are, whether you're pressing more into the inner edge of the foot or the outer edge of the foot. So see if you can balance the inner and outer edges of the feet. Again, the center of the back of the heel on the floor, toes point forward. Thighs press down. And then we'll pull on the strap to draw the arms into the shoulder sockets, shoulder blades into the back, and lift up from the back body up. So we're moving the back body into the front body as we press our thighs down and lift our chest. Maintain that lift as we release the strap and place our hands again by the sides of the waist in Dandasana, staff pose. And maintaining the pressure of the thighs down towards the floor, the lift in the chest, we'll take our hands into Urdhva. So we'll reach the arms forward. Remember the upper arms, outer upper arms in, as we inhale and take the arms overhead by the ears, lengthening the body by reaching the arms up. Take one more inhale, and then exhale and lower the arms down to the floor. From here, we'll come onto our backs for Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, or upward extended foot pose. So you can have the blankets towards the top of your mat. You shouldn't need the blankets. Have the strap nearby. And we'll lie down on our back so the entire back body, if you stretched your legs, was on the floor. And then we'll bend our knees, place the feet on the floor. And we also practiced this pose last time with a strap. So we bent our knees and then stretched our legs straight up to 90 degrees. Some of us are not able to stretch the legs straight at 90, so you can stretch the legs straight at 75 degrees or so. And you can also use a strap around your feet, around the balls of the feet, if it's too much to hold the legs up at 90 degrees or 75 degrees. So you can use the strap to help you hold the legs up towards the ceiling. So go ahead and use the strap if you need it. If not, we'll try it without the strap. So we'll take our knees up towards perpendicular to the floor, the thighs perpendicular to the floor. And then from the inner edge of the knees, we'll reach towards the inner ankles as we stretch the legs up to 90 degrees. So reaching from the inner edge of the knee to the inner ankles. And then at the same time, draw back from the outer edges of the feet towards the outer edges of the knees. The abdomen draws towards the spine. Shoulder blades are down the back. And then bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. You can practice that same pose again with the arms by the sides of the waist. But if you'd like to do the full pose and add a little more strengthening into the posture, we'll take our arms overhead. So make sure you've got room over your head to take your arms. You can use the blankets if there's some tension in your shoulders or your arms aren't able to come all the way down to the floor. You can rest your hands or stretch your hands onto the blankets. Otherwise, make sure that there's nothing behind you. We'll draw the knees in to the chest, draw up towards 90 degrees, perpendicular to the floor. Draw the abdomen towards the spine, and from the inner edge of the knees to the inner edges of the feet, we'll stretch the legs up towards 90 degrees. You can also see here in this position, which direction are the knees turning. You want them directly in line with the pelvis and in line with the feet. Stretch up through the feet, press the tops of the thighs back, and then on an inhale, you can take your arms overhead by the ears. Stretching the arms, using the arms to stretch the sides of the body. reaching the thighs and hips away from you towards the back wall, towards the wall away from your buttocks. And then inhale, exhale, lower the arms and bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. Take a breath. And we'll practice that one more time. So the pelvis is on the floor, the abdomen moves towards the spine, the back body, the shoulder blades are on the floor, moving down away from the ears. And we'll draw our knees up so the thighs are perpendicular to the floor. Extending from the inner knees to the inner ankles, we'll stretch our legs up towards 90 degrees, pressing the thighs away from you. And then on inhale, draw the arms up and overhead by the ears, using the arms to help lengthen the side body as you reach the outer hips away from you. Take a breath, and then inhale and exhale. Take the arms down by the sides as you bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. We'll stay here for one more pose, Supta Padangusthasana, or Supine Big Toe Pose. So we'll take the strap, place it around the ball of the foot, the right foot, keeping the knee bent. Make sure the strap lengths are even. You've got a strap in either hand. And then same thing here. You're going to extend from the inner knee to the inner foot as you stretch the right leg up towards 90 degrees. Again, if the back of the leg is not stretched straight, you can take the leg a little bit further away from you so that you can stretch the back of the leg, stretch the knee fully. You can see here that the knee, hip, and foot, ankle are all in line as you reach the leg up towards 90 degrees. And then maintaining that, extend the left leg down, center of the back of the heel on the floor, toes up towards the ceiling, top of the thigh presses down towards the floor, back of the knee is open as you stretch both legs and pull the arms down towards the shoulders. So drawing the arms into the shoulder sockets as you reach the right leg up towards the ceiling. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, and release the right leg to the floor. And just pause for a moment, taking your shoulders down your back and noticing the difference in the two sides of the body. And then we'll bend our knees again, placing the soles of the feet on the floor. We'll draw the left knee in and place the strap around the ball of the left foot, reaching the arms up. And we'll bend our knee and we'll extend the knee from the inner edge of the knee to the inner foot as we straighten the leg. So reaching up through the inner edge of the foot, reaching up through the inner heel as you stretch the leg up towards 90 degrees. See that the hip, the knee, and the ankle, the foot are all in line as you reach the leg up towards the ceiling. Maintain that as you stretch the right leg now down onto the floor. Again, keeping the leg in line with the hip. Top of the thigh presses down, knee presses down, and the center of the back of the heel is on the floor with the toes up towards the ceiling. Good stretch for the hamstrings, the backs of the legs, and for the lower back. And you can pull your arms to take the arm bones more into the shoulder sockets. You can release the grip on the strap if you need more length in the strap. Take an inhale and exhale. Release the left leg down to meet the right. And just pause there for a moment Just noticing if both sides feel more even now. And we'll bend our knees and roll over onto our right side. Carefully press ourselves up for one more pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. So we'll have our 2 blankets. We'll take one blanket and we'll open it up lengthwise, placing the blanket on our sticky mat. Setting it up so there's no wrinkles or creases. And then you can use a blanket for your head and neck. You don't have to. And then you'll sit in the center of your sticky mat so that when you lie down, all of your arms and legs and head will be on the sticky mat, same surface. Bend the knees and lie down. See that you're centered as you stretch the legs down to the floor. The support, if you're using it, goes under the head and neck. You can release your shoulder blades down your back and then externally rotate your arms so that your palms are up. Make sure you're not touching anything besides the blanket and the floor. And then relax the feet away from one another. Take a few deep breaths as you gently close your eyes. And begin to relax the entire body. You can move up the body from the feet and relax the feet, the calves, the shins, the knees, the quadriceps and hamstrings, the front and back of the thighs, the pelvis, the buttocks, the abdomen, the chest, the arms and hands, the shoulders, the neck and throat, the jaw and cheeks. The eyes are resting closed, and the eyes recede back towards the back of the skull. The forehead is relaxed. The temples, everything relaxes as you just concentrate on your breath, breathing in and out. So you're welcome to stay in this pose for as long as you'd like, 5, 10, 15 minutes at the end of your class. And when you're ready, you can take a few deeper breaths to wake the body up. And then carefully place your hands on your abdomen. And gently bend your knees one at a time, placing the soles of the feet on the floor. And when you're ready, you can roll over onto your right side. then carefully press yourself up. Taking a comfortable seated position. Just taking a moment, acknowledging all that your body has done for you today. And we'll take our hands in prayer in front of our hearts, pressing the palms, the roots of the fingers towards one another. And bowing your head towards your hands, acknowledging the light that exists within each one of us. Namaste.